This is the dragon workout that we will be taking to Yogapalooza for you to practice at home with. The only tools you'll need are a skipping rope and a timer. So we get started with our skipping series. And in our skipping series, we warm up and rest in our 2-foot jump. Our first exercise of our skipping format is the high knees, which we will be doing for 30 seconds for our introduction round. And right away, we switch into our switching backs. We'll be doing these for 30 seconds in our second part of our introduction round. And again, we switch immediately into our third exercise, jumping jacks while skipping. Again for 30 seconds. This is the third exercise of our introduction round. And once we've finished introducing all 3 exercises, we slow it back down and get back to our 2-foot jump. We rest here for no more than 1 minute. After your minute of rest, you go right into your endurance round. This time we're going to hold each exercise, first with the high knees, for 1 minute. And once we finish the minute of high knees, we switch right away into our minute of switching backs. And of course, switching to our third exercise, the jumping jacks while skipping for another minute. These are a little bit harder to keep for a minute, so pace yourself. Find a good pace so that you can last the whole minute. After completing the endurance round and doing each exercise for a minute, you get another minute of rest. And after that minute of rest, we'll be doing the speed round, where you do each exercise for 10 seconds straight, as fast as you can with no breaks in between.
4, 3, 2,
Starting off with the high knees as fast as you can. If you lose your rope, you keep going as fast as you can, moving those legs and try to get that rope back into the skip. Switching right away into the switching backs exercises, going as fast as you can. And last, switching right into the jumping jack exercises as fast as you can. You might want to keep your jumping jacks a little smaller than the last round to keep it going fast. And once you're done, you grab yourself a little bit of water, take a minute break. Getting ready for our plyometric series, following the same format as our skipping series and our dragon stance. We start off with 30 seconds of Muay Thai knees, where we pop the hips forward every time we throw a knee, almost as if we were just leaning back.
20 seconds.
Next, we'll be doing 30 seconds of punch outs, where for every punch you throw, you kick your heel into your buttocks using the opposite leg. Now you can modify these and go a little bit harder and start punching upstairs rather than just in front. And you can also modify them to make it even harder by grabbing a weighted bar or even a stick and start pushing it forward as you kick your feet into your buttocks. Our third exercise are the dragon jumps, which we'll do for 30 seconds. You can make them harder by kicking your heels into your buttocks again, or even harder by bringing your knees forward right up to your chest. And just like our skipping series, we have the endurance round, where we do each exercise for 1 whole minute. These Muay Thai knees get quite hard after 30 seconds, so keep throwing those hips, control from your core. Next, we do our punch outs for a whole minute. Now you can change the difficulty of your punches, whether it's easier or if it's harder. The main point is that you continue moving for the whole minute of this exercise. Next, we do our dragon jumps for 1 whole minute. And again, you can change the difficulty of these exercises, whether you make it easier or harder, or even slow down your pace. But the idea is that you last for the whole minute. Now here you can see that you can even add the weighted bar to your exercise to increase the difficulty. And again, we rest in our dragon stance for a minute. After our minute, we'll get ourselves ready for our speed round again, where we do each exercise for 10 seconds as fast as we can with no breaks in between. And here we start with our Muay Thai knees, breathing every time we throw our knee, going as fast as we can. And right away into our punch outs, going as fast as we can, kicking those feet right to the buttocks each time. And right away getting into our dragon jumps, touching the floor and jumping up into the sky as fast as possible. And again, we get a break, we get a sip of water. Next, we'll be getting started with our ground series, following the same format as our skipping and plyometric series. In our plank position, our wrists, our elbows, and shoulders are all aligned. The buttocks is flexed, holding your body as one straight line with no curve in your lower back. Our first exercises are center wide push-ups with 2 push-ups with your hands in the center and 2 push-ups with your hands wide. Now you can either walk your hands from center to wide, or you can hop with your hands from center to wide. And we do these for 30 seconds.
Notice the modifications as you walk and walk them in.
After your 30 seconds of push-ups, you rest into your child's pose. Our second exercise for this ground series is a dragon push-up. From our plank position, we bring our knee to the same elbow as we press down and press back up, and do it the same on the other side. Or you can do it where you just bring your knees to your elbows in your plank position. You do this exercise for 30 seconds. Once you've completed 30 seconds, we rest in child's pose. Our third exercise for this ground series is the mountain climbers. Now we can do the original mountain climbers, or you can do the Muay Thai mountain climbers, where you drop your hips every time you switch your legs. And we do this for 30 seconds. After our mountain climbers, we go right into our child's pose. Jason is showing here that May can use her gloves, because once you get sweaty, you kind of lose a little bit of grip. And again, once we finish our introduction round, we go into our endurance round. This time doing each exercise for 1 whole minute and resting in our child's pose. Doing our second exercise from the ground series, the dragon push-ups, for 1 whole minute. Now these can get a little bit difficult, so pace yourself, and you can even switch from modified version to the advanced version. After your rest, we get right back into our mountain climbers, again for 1 minute, so pace yourself. And after your rest, of course, we follow it up with a speed round, doing each exercise for 10 seconds as fast as you can, with no breaks in between this time. 10 seconds of center wide push-ups. Take your rest if you need them. 10 seconds of dragon push-ups. Don't be afraid to use the modifications or even mix the two, because these get very hard. And 10 seconds of mountain climbers.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Once you finish off your mountain climbers, you go right into your child's pose. from our child's pose, we slowly bring ourselves up to our hands and knees, getting ready for our cool down. Heading on to our plank position. And together we'll press down, roll over onto our backs. Then we should end up in a seated position. Then we come up into our boat position, getting ready for our in and out. Every time you extend, once you've extended, you open your arms. And once you come in, you close your arms. Or you can modify it by placing your hands on the floor for a little more balance and support. And just bringing your knees forward and back. And we do this for 30 seconds. This time, once you're done, we relax in our Savasana. Next, you lift your legs to set up for the reverse crunches. You'll do this for 30 seconds. Now you can do this with your arms open, the most difficult, or you can bring them close to your hips or under your bum. Now you can extend forward, then up for the regular reverse crunch, or you can leave your legs in the sky for the modified reverse crunch. Next, you set up by lifting your legs an inch above the floor for leg raises, and this for 30 seconds. Inhaling up and exhaling back down. We cycle one more time through the exercises, but this time for 1 minute each. And again with the reverse crunch for 1 minute. And of course, leg raises for 1 minute. Then we rest into our final Savasana, turning into our yoga section. Once you're done your one cycle of a basic sun salutation, you head on over to your child's pose, lifting ourselves up and transitioning into a seated position. Once you've got yourself into a seated position, we get ready for our dragon breath.
On the count of 3. 1, 2.
Collapsing forward for your final rest. Slowly beginning to lift yourself back up into a seated position, vertebrae by vertebrae for every single breath.
Your chest is upright, very top. Taking your hands to the outside of your knees.
Taking your hands beside your knees, bringing them around your shins, lifting up for a great big hug for a job well done.
Good job.
This is the workout we'll be taking to Yogapalooza. Take it home, practice, and train hard. But it's September 21st at the Harborfront Center. Click here for their website and don't forget to join us.